A very good morning and a warm welcome to one and all present over here, teachers. Thank you so much for joining another Super Sunday workshop. And this time we're going to get into the details of school leadership. I suppose there could be many teachers out there who are aspiring to become a leader in one way or the other. Some leaders are already there as an HOD or a coordinator or some position in the school and would like to become the vice principal or the principal. There are many people out there who are already there just beginning their career in the teaching style and willing to get into the world of teaching, and subsequently after gaining the experience you would become the principal. Many people are saying you're not able to hear the audio. Okay, I would request everyone to please check if you are able to hear me. According to my check over here, it seems it's working. So if it's not working, do let me know, teachers. You can hear you now. Okay. Okay. I began the session by saying that very good morning. Thank you for joining on a super leadership workshop. I hope you would have made the sense of that. That's the same dialogue that I keep repeating every time. It's working. Perfect. Let's go forward. Let's go forward. So this is going to be one of the most interesting sessions because of the initiative that was actually taken towards school leadership very very late in Indian education system. In fact, right after independence, since the time when the schools actually started, uh, they had a lot of training programs. Government of India had a lot of training programs for the teachers, and it's the most important area. But somehow there was no professional program out there for leaders as such. In fact, even now, if you just go and do our research on internet about leadership and everything, you'll be surprised to know that it is more of a corporate term rather than something that's used in the school setup. While we know with respect to the definitions and understanding of what leadership is all about, that it's going to be there in every part of life. But somehow, technically speaking, with respect to school education, it was not addressed to that extent. Well, right in the year 2012, NEPA came up with an idea. They made National Center for School Leadership, and at that time it used to be called as NUPA. I think you would have heard about it, right? National University for Education Planning and Administration. And then it became, I think, after 4 or 5 years, if I'm not wrong, I need to check that, it became NEPA, National Institute for Education Planning and Administration. And they came up with multiple programs, and then NCRT parallelly started with something called as Nishtha. We're going to touch upon all these things, don't worry. And they came up with multiple programs, and right now, just to tell you the milestones, especially from the government school perspectives, over 49,000 principals have been trained so far, and in offline mode, I guess, and more than 150,000 schools, 150,000 school principals participated in both online and offline training programs exclusively for principals. That's what we're going to talk about. I would like to sincerely thank the NEPA and all the members over there, Professor Rashmi Dhawan, Dr. Rashmi Dhawan, then Kashyapi Avasthi ma'am, lot of people who have been working on this, and you'll be surprised that the amount of detailing that the document has, it's immense. The best part is there is not even a single statement that is made without a research. There's multiple papers supporting a particular point. If I say today a leader has to be learning all the time, they call it as leadership for learning. Now, where is it actually taken from? It seems to be quite an obvious term, right? Leadership for learning, huh? It's quite a common sense. But no, they have gone into the depth of why leadership for learning is important. Who is that person who actually coined this word? And who are those people who have been working in the industry and have been applying that? Every detail has been present, and everything you can get in this particular website called as NEPA. We'll get into it one by one gradually. You can put your queries on the chat, and whenever we talk about a link, I would request you to just look at the way we navigate it. But we'll try to put it on the group as well. Shall we start? Yeah, here we go. So if there are leaders out there, or if there are teachers but your leader is not here, it's my humble request to share the video later with the principal. We'll make sure that every minute that we spend till 11 o'clock today, 11 a.m. today, it'll be of worth understanding and listening. Moreover, coming to the important point, teachers, I would request you to please fill up the reflection form before 6 p.m. today itself. And you need to score 7 and above. 7 and above. Only then these two criteria, if they met, you get the certificates. There are a lot of mails that we receive, but most of the times we understand that the teachers are not satisfying one of the criterias and you don't get the certificate. So if you're sure that you're not satisfying one of the criterias, then I would request you to please do not mail, because I'm receiving over 1200 to 1500 mails every week, and replying all of them is not a problem at the current scenario. But still, if you know that you're not there, then I would request you to please not mail. But anyways, no problem. Whatever it is, we are there to support you. So here in this case, let's quickly begin. The moment we talk about leadership, there are few leaders who come in your mind, right? A criteria, I'm saying it right now, ma'am. Criteria is before 6 o'clock, you should submit the reflection form and you should score 7 and more than 7. That's it. That's the criteria. And it is also mentioned in the reflection form. Here we go. So let's talk about some leaders. The moment we talk about leaders, I think you might remember some of them. I remember one great personality. Let's begin the session with his ideas on what leadership is all about. So here we go. I think you should be able to see the screen in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Please watch this. Quite an important, thought-provoking dialogues by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Watch this. Most of you would have watched this, in fact.
I will give an incident. This is all of you who have assembled here, all of you. Remember this incident. 1979. 1979. SLV-3 satellite launch vehicle. I was the project director, mission director. My mission is to put the satellite in the orbit. Thousands of people worked nearly 10 years. I reached the Sriharikota and it's in the launch pad. Countdown was going on. T minus 4 minutes, T minus 5 minutes, T minus 1 minute, T minus 40 seconds. Computer put a hold. Don't launch it. Computer says don't launch it. I am the mission director, I have to take decision. Everything is on. Behind me there are 6 experts. They saw data computer database coming in and screen, and they see the pictures in the screen. They said there's a problem. The problem is there's a leakage in the system, in the control system. But immediately calculation, no problem. We have got sufficient fuel and oxidation for control system. It controls the rocket to the required attitude, and we can go ahead. Now, of course, my expert's view, but I took the decision. Problem is mine. Finally, I took a decision. I bypassed the computer. I launched the system. Okay, I launched the system. This fellow went. First stage worked is a 4-stage rocket, and second stage got mad. It went to spin. Instead of putting the satellite in the orbit, it put in the Bay of Bengal. 1979, it was a failure. It was a failure. First time I experienced my failure. How do you manage the failure? Success I can manage. So at that time, a great man, a great leader, Professor Satish Dhawan, he comes to me. I am very tired, working nearly for months. He wakes me up, come, let us go for a press conference. Press is meeting there, like this, number of people, world press, with photos, this and that, all the gadgets, they are there. I was really frightened. I will be the culprit because I am the project director, mission director. What Satish Dhawan said, Chairman, Indian Space Research Organization, said, dear friends, we have failed today. It's the first time. I have to give all the success, all the failure is, I want to support my technologists and scientists and staff so that next year they succeed. So he took the whole blame himself. And then media asked, you have put Bay of Bengal so many crores, you have put it. Like that, a lot of criticism. He received the criticism. He assured them in a year we will succeed with our team. It's a very good team. Next year, here only interesting happened. Next year, July 18, 1980, when he succeeded, Professor Dhawan said, you go and conduct the press conference. Do you follow what this means? It means when the failure occurred, the leader took it up. When the success came, he gives to his team. That's the first.
So when the failure comes, he took it on himself, and when the success comes, he gave it to the team. And that's an important quality of a leadership. Leaders is what I think you would have actually seen this, if I'm not wrong. And if you have not, then this is one of the greatest quality. Another important quality is the one dialogue that he mentions about, you can handle success, but handling failures is what determines you. So handling success is a simple aspect of being humble and having the character of humility and things like that. But handling of failure is altogether a different ball game. So it was nicely mentioned out there. Well, this is an important attribute of the training program that is organized by NCSL, and they categorize all of these things into certain areas. But there are few analogies that has been brought into picture, which I would like to talk about. One of the analogies that they speak about is, Anupurna ma'am, please check your audio. Uh, just like the way, in order to bring up a family, I would say, cultivate a certain culture, ensuring that the family is having a wholesome development, making sure that everybody gets what they need and require. Who is responsible in the family? So the moment we think about this responsibility, then there is a term called as father of a family. So there is this one nice analogy where they say the father of a family could be a mother as well, which I really like, and most of the times I keep talking about it. It's about, so father of a family doesn't really mean the man over there. It is just a word, a kind of personified for who a leader is all about. And father of a family can be a mother, something like that. So here in this case, they try to compare, and both the husband and the wife, or the male and the female in a particular family, they try to work in a systematic manner in order to correct things, in order to make sure things align, so that the thought process of all the family members is considered, so it's wholesome. A school is no different than that. So the responsibility that we carry in order to take forward a family should be exactly the same when you're there in a particular school. If you're able to establish that particular fact, that this is my family, this is my school, and school and family is pretty much synonymous to each other, that's the place where responsibility kicks in. But the moment we think about, I am into the system for my job, for my work, and I'm going to be here for temporary aspects. Maybe you are, but you don't have to have thought about it. So that's that they categorize under something called as action reflection cycle. So action reflection cycle is, you consider your school to be a family, you start working towards it, you understand that some things are not working. So you understand some things are not working is basically the reflection. You immediately correct that, and again you take another action. So this action reflection cycle has to be super constant, and the more the constant it is, the more the higher frequency it is, the better is the leadership abilities of a particular individual. Now here in this case, they don't mention this only for the principals, teachers. It is also mentioned for each and every member who's part of the school. Just because Shweta ma'am is there in that particular school as a pre-primary teacher doesn't mean that she doesn't possess leadership qualities. In fact, if a certain task was assigned to her by her immediate reporting manager, who could be the pre-primary coordinator or whoever it is, and when she is taking that step, the first step in order to, take finish that particular task, or do it in an effective manner, or during the process while doing it, she comes up with an idea, shall we do it this way so that it'll become even more creative? So these self initiations are coming under leadership. In fact, that is why they say that leadership qualities, one of the important qualities, leaders create leaders, and that is another point that they mentioned. And every teacher is a leader in their own aspect. So when we talk about leadership webinar, or the whole course that is made, it's not pertaining only to the principals and coordinators, it's pertaining to the complete educating community. But something interesting, there are some chapters related only to the principal, where the administration task, the managerial task, those things are also discussed. Let's understand all of these things with this particular. Oh, is it going? Oh, that's fantastic, Swapna ma'am. Good to hear about that in your school. And here you should be able to see the screen. 1 minute. Okay. I think you should be able to see it right now. Great. So NEP actually mentioned that school principals and school complex leaders will have similar modular leadership. This is mandatory CPDRs, workshop and online development opportunities and platforms to continuously improve their own leadership and management skills. so that they can share best practices with one another. Such leaders will also be expected to participate in 50 hours or more of CPD modules per year, covering leadership and management, as well as content and pedagogy, with a focus on preparing and implementing pedagogical plans based on competency based education. So, this is the current requirement. So, in this case, the moment they started with the training program, they also kept an aspect of an important component called as pedagogical leadership. I think you would have heard about it. We'll touch upon that as well. So here we go. This is exactly what it is. Perfect. I hope you're able to see the screen, teachers. So whatever you're going to learn, whatever we are going to speak in the Super Sunday workshop is going to revolve around these 5 areas. Nothing more, nothing less. Everything boils down to these 5 areas. What are that? First of all, it is called as leadership for learning. Basically, this falls under the category of self leadership. You need to develop yourself and ensure that the other people are developing along with you. That's with respect to leadership for learning. Um, Second is instructional and academic leadership. Now, instructional leadership is somewhere where you set the process of teaching learning transactions in the school. For example, planning the curriculum, teacher professional development program that you organize regularly, designing teaching learning process. Many teachers out there here who have joined today for the session, I'm pretty sure you would have got the notification of the Super Sunday workshop by your principal only. I hope you know that. So that's one of the steps created or taken by the principal or whoever the leader is to share the information, right? So this is with respect to instructional and academic leadership, an important category. The third comes under the area of transformational leadership. This is very common in corporate areas also, where they talk about one very nice statement: who is a leader without the team? It's like when you are developing and if your team is not developing, then there's no point of that sort of leadership at all. It's like, and that cannot happen. If that happens, then somewhere culturally there is some problem with that particular system. So here in this case, transformation leadership is all about vision and goal setting, motivating and developing people around you, especially the close ones, establishing structure and processes, and focus on student learning. Interesting, right? Transformation leadership. Now comes distributed leadership. This also comes under the quality of building partnerships. So basically, the general term that is used in the world of corporate is building partnership. Most of the time, teachers or principals, you would have seen that whenever there is a student coming to the school, and if you find the parents of that particular school to be one of the community helpers, they could be a lawyer, they could be a doctor, or they could be working in any department of community helping. And if they're present out there, you try to build an extra relationship with that particular parent so that if there is a requirement in the school, they come and support the school. Have you done that ever? If you've done that, then please put on the chat. The moment I'm speaking about it, I'm pretty sure every teacher is thinking about that one parent, who can really support the school in the best way possible. Some of you must be thinking, आजकल के parents ऐसे नहीं है सर, सिर्फ डांटने आते हैं. Most of you are thinking like, maybe, could be. Today the parents are not like that. They're not willing to help or things like that. Oh no, no, nothing like that. Okay, just kidding, just kidding. So let's go forward. Let's go forward. So that's with respect to distributed leadership or building partnership. So distributing tasks and responsibilities not only with the school but also within the school vicinity. Now comes collaborative leadership, and that comes under the category of team leadership. So which is equal to trust building, mutual sharing of professional practice. Sometimes a principal, I have seen some really good principals who keep appreciating about their teachers. I learned this from that lady. She has got very good attribute of taking records. She maintains the register in such a nice manner. I've never done that. So because of that teacher only today I'm here. Something like that. So that is with respect to the mutual understanding. I hope you're getting the connect over here, right? Then you have got school leader and others as equal partners and learning together. So these are some of the key attributes of the leadership program made by NEPA. And this everything falls under leadership for learning, instructional or academic leadership, transformational leadership, distributed leadership, and shared leadership. And community involvement in guest speaker. Oh, that's absolutely right, Subramanian sir. You're right. In fact, many doctor parents come for orientation. You're right. You're right. In fact, even recently, I saw I think right now most of the schools would have completed their invest teacher ceremony. Right, the school head boy and head girl is assigned, and the house head boy and head girl is assigned. And I saw many parents being the chief guest in multiple schools, and these parents hold a very big rank and position in the society. So that's a great thing. So that comes under distributed leadership, right? It's not just about somebody who is an IAS officer. It could even be about the security who's standing right outside the school, and he could also play an important role. There are many principals out there I've seen where the moment they enter the school in the gate, they'll just tap on the security, hey, how are you, karke, in a very friendly manner. The level of friendship that a security would have with the principal in some schools is amazing. In fact, that security even says that in some of the schools, he even told me when I'm entering the school, sir is here, he's a nice gentleman, he's here. So the sense of friendship and the sense of respect go very hand in hand. So depending on the type of people, I think all these fun fall under this category. Yes, in fact, even yoga day ke liye many parents had come to many schools. So I hope you're getting the point of leadership for learning, instructional leadership, transformation leadership. This is distributed leadership and then collaborative leadership. So under the 5 areas, further topic is designed. Let me quickly stop share the screen. One of the most two things that comes to my mind right now, and something it depends as well. Yeah, you're right. One is that there are some school leaders out there. I do not know if you're present over here. You can put it on the chat. The common observation and the surprising observation, it's as mentioned by the training program organized by NCSL. You'll be surprised. Most of the principals have told as a concern that they started feeling lonely after becoming the principal. It's a very powerful statement. See, so what happens is during the days when you are a teacher, and if you want to really crib about something, you're not happy with probably the school washrooms, or you're not happy with the staff room, or you're not happy with something, you can crib about it with your colleagues. That's a very interesting and important area. I think it's part and parcel of your life. But the moment you hold a position, people, I mean, first of all, you can't speak about it to anyone else because you don't want anyone to look at you as a matter of weakness. And more than the weakness, you can't have the transparency also. And with respect to weakness as a point, you can't discuss with the other school coordinators and principals also, because they should not put you down or look at you down. So these two major things actually play an important role. And this is, I think, an underrated sacrifice that a leader generally does. And when this was mentioned in NEPA, it connected like anything with all the principles. So one of the important aspect of leadership is a huge EQ, emotional quotient. If you're there at a certain position, you have to be lonely. And if you are lonely, how do you manage that loneliness is an important area. I'll tell you what some principals do. Some sad story of a chair. Yeah, you're right. That's a powerful statement. In fact, the principal even becomes a target. You're right. Uh, Okay, Reet ma'am. But another thing is what some principals do is they immediately collaborate with the close associates. For example, vice principal. For example, the headmistress, the coordinators. And over the period of time, you will see that all these people sit together and that forms a gang. So there's this gang of leadership and there's this gang of teachers. And then there's again a lot of conflicts and stress and a lot of management issues comes into picture. Surprisingly, to encourage collaboration under the leadership and also ensure there is very less disparity between principals and the teachers, you know that there are principals who sit in the staff room only. In fact, there are many times in my school when I was in Atomic Energy Central School, Vinarani Mishra ma'am was the principal. I still remember. She used to come and sit in the staff room with the teachers just like that. She'll be like, but the teachers initially thought that, she has come to inspect. She has come to disturb us. And even the principals have that. If I go there, they will not, really be free and comfortable. But that's going to be a matter of initial hiccup, probably a month or two. But once you get acquainted to it, once you become comfortable about it, so there's going to be a sense of collaborative environment. But at the same time, a principal's responsibility is also to ensure maintain a certain sanctity in that relationship, a certain distance, not from emotional gap, but from the perspective of authority. Yeah. not authoritative. That's different. Just like, so you can have a very close conversation with Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam even by sitting beside him, but you'll still feel the distance. So that establishment comes only with aura, only with the vibe. So for that, you need to be an inspirer or an impactful player over there. Whatever I'm speaking, everything is present in that session, teachers. I'll share the link and all. And it's very important for us to talk about this, and that's the reason I'm mentioning all these things as if I'm mentioning about it. One more important area, the second part that I was talking about, is the leaders actually generally get elected in the school, or I would say even selected in the school, but very rarely hired. I hope you're able to understand. Elected, selected comes under the category of experience. I'm just going to take Nisha ma'am as an example, considering my comfort with her. Just imagine Nisha ma'am is one of the teachers in a particular school, and she's been working there for 15, 20 years. By this time, she would have already got the thought that I need an upgradation in my hierarchy and I would like to become the principal of the school or vice principal, whatever it is. Now, here in this case, when you talk about becoming a vice principal or a principal, does experience of being a teacher is enough? 90% of the cases, that is what is happening. Hardly there are any places where hiring is happening. In India, Gujarat is the only state where 100% all the schools, the principals are hired but not promoted. Of course, they might be promoted from one school to another school altogether. I'm majorly talking about the government setup over here, teachers. Private schools have got their own system, small little system with which they do amazing work. Sometimes they are hired, sometimes they are promoted. Now, why it is very important to address this is, just because you're a good teacher, you have a great experience, does that really guarantee that you will be a great principal or a leader? There are a lot of case studies where the teachers could not handle being a coordinator or an HOD or a principal, and they have stepped down. And unfortunately, the virtue of salary is directly dependent on the position as well. So, can somebody say that I would like to be the teacher, but still get that, you know, financial promotion that I was actually expecting? Most of the teachers out there get promoted expecting better salary. Now, if the question is asked like this, can you get the salary? I'm ready to give you the salary. And can you, or do you want to still be the teacher? That's one of the important question to be addressed. That is also addressed in the training program. Correct. You're right, Dilip Kumar sir. Yeah. Let's go forward. Let's go forward. So there is no uniform procedure of recruitment for principals in India as of now. The primary goal is of anyone who's coming to that particular position, making effective learning teaching happen. Making effective learning teaching happen. Let's collaboration is the key to success. Okay, could be. What's the point of a leader without a team, right? Something like that. Now, they talk about Robinson et al. Research, but before that, I would like to quickly show you some emotional aspects or implementation aspects of leadership. Here we go. Now, what is leadership? Leadership in layman's language is understood to be an authority on someone with enough power or influence heading a group of people or an organization. Remember, power, authority, influence, all the three models exist in the system. Which is good, which is bad, completely depends upon the success of that organization. So some people will say power is a very bad thing, you're not supposed to use. No, nothing like that. There could be areas where in a certain area, power is important. Authority is very important. You can influence someone. That is again influential power. Let's talk about it quickly. So power is an ability to change the behavior of other persons with manipulation of reward and punishment. So you know that if a teacher is not performing well, immediately the principal will be like, let me increment her salary, and then ask her to do it. Probably this is motivation with respect to reward, because she's been working really hard, something like that. Suppose if you're not working hard and you really want that person to work hard, then it's basically carrot and stick method. Here in this case, punishment. So it can be categorized under coercive power, where personal harm is done; remunerative power, where money is given; normative power, which is respect to rules and regulations and norms. If you need to be 15 years experienced, only then you are eligible to become the coordinator or the vice principal or the principal, something like that. So that comes under the category of power. Then comes authority, which is legitimized power. That means where power is ability, authority is the right. For example, if a principal says you have to do something, you can't deny that. You have to do it. You like it or not, you have to do it. Now, here, power is little different, authority is little different. Now, authority it is more from the perspective of, getting the work done at small scale. Power is on a long term. For example, 3 months you observe someone and then you do something. Authority could be minuscule instructions that you do on a day-to-day basis as per the document. Now, next is influence. Influence is an ability to change the behavior of other persons without the manipulation of reward and punishment. This comes under the category of inspiration. How many teachers over here discuss about your principles, the way they walk, the way they talk, the way they dress up? आज प्रिंसिपल का साड़ी बहुत अच्छा था ना. अब आज प्रिंसिपल का the coat suit, the blazer was amazing. या फिर बकवास था. My principal is great, but doesn't really have a great sense of dressing. Could be that for a good topic of gossip over the break times. If I'm not, almost all everyone discusses that. Okay, mostly everyone. But if there are principals out there in this chat, look at the teachers, principals, they're watching you, and it's very important. You talk, right? Yeah. So that's with respect to influence. Now, influence need not be only from the perspective of dressing. I'm bringing that just for the humor purpose, but it could also be the way of behavior. I really like her because I'm inspired. See, I'm inspired by my partner, who's a great leader, and we don't try to replicate them, but we just get the inspiration, and that's inspiration is enough for us to get motivated enough to become the self leaders. So that's the third category. Now, where does your principle fit into? You can check. You will be surprised that all the three are used by the principals most of the time. Even the coordinators, HODs. Yeah. Now, here in this case, what is the major issue right now? Okay, with respect to principal becoming a principal. So there are academic issues and challenges, and there are learner-centered issues and challenges. Now, first is academic issues with respect to context-based, the diversity of student population. For example, NEP has already said that you need to have a three-language system. Now, three-language system, National Curriculum Framework also came up with some pattern. Now, it is very difficult for a principal to include one new subject altogether in the school, a regional language. And coincidentally, that particular school has got so much of diversity that you can't come to a conclusion on which language to be taken as the priority. So it could be Tamil in Bangalore, or it could be Malayalam in Chennai, it could be Hindi in Kerala. I hope you're able to understand. How would you prioritize? So are you going to consider the majority of the students? So are you willing to sacrifice the learning of the minority students over there? So all these are very confusing statements. Our teachers, if you're there in that position where you don't really have to make a decision like this, you can talk. We can talk about it. We can debate about it. But end of the day, the decision has to be taken. So the principal are always in a very difficult position to do that. So they bug the teacher's brain and then they try to extract something. And somehow before the deadline, they come with, come on something. So context based is again related to geography, which geography you fall into. That's why they say geographical. Then organizational, which is like what is the school size, what is the technology availability in the classrooms, administrative and managerial problems, planning and development. All these come under organizational area. Then you have got academic structure and process, balancing academic and vocational education. Then you have got continuous professional development both for yourself and the teachers. Then designing a framework for leadership for learning. That is the first category. So all these things are academic issues and challenges. Now, learner-centered issues directly related to safety and security of students. Basically, students. It's everything about students. Encouraging students' voice and expression, improving student learning and learning outcomes, and mapping career choices with the students. So whatever I'm showing you over here, teachers, it is present in the uh, uh, the pedagogical leadership booklet and also the NEPA website. We'll go to that, don't worry. Then collaboration with stakeholders, networking with stakeholders and system level functionaries. Functionaries is all the people who are responsible for running the school, for school development. Then leading school complexes, that is the Sahodaya complexes, or you might have your own team of schools, sister concerns and things like that. So these are some of the wide area of challenges. See, one of the key things that one of the principals told me was, when we are talking about academics in the class or with the teachers, suddenly if I have to change from the academic topic to something administrative, Panini Ayaj, the shift in mindset is actually a very big headache. It's very difficult for the principal to even comprehend what is the next topic. Is a very big challenge. If you are able to comprehend, forget about the principles, just think about the same at your home. Now, right after cooking, immediately you have to conduct an online class. Online class has got everything academic, cooking has got everything that is administrative at home. So the change in mindset is a very difficult challenge. And with practice and practice and practice, you become very good at it. So that is why sometimes they say that 15 to 20 years of an experienced teacher can may not be an effective principal for the first year. I hope you're able to understand. And many people give up over here, right? Yes. Okay. Okay, let's go forward. So how does one become effective leader? Basically, secondary school leader is what was again, but this is applicable everyone. A leader of a secondary school needs to cultivate an overarching perspective on school leadership that incorporates an understanding on four key aspects: moving beyond administrative and managerial roles to leadership roles, becoming a value leader, how your presence is impacting others, practicing leadership, which is basically the application. If there are people out there, who's the first person to take the initiative? It could be a teacher as well. Emerging as a leader by action and not the leader by position. I should have written that as well. So leader by position is the name given, designation. You're the vice principal. But leader by action is the rights and duties that are properly well established over here. So this is another important area that they had mentioned. So all these things moving beyond, so all the four categories has got some explanation over here, which I would not get into the details right now. So moving beyond administrative task to leadership. So becoming an administrator, then to manager, and then to be a leader. You might hold the single designation called the principal, but your mindset has to change from being an administrator to manager to leader. Nice, right? Then comes becoming a value leader. Now that is completely related to the attitude. For example, what do you believe? What are your values? Your knowledge, and that is evidently shown by the way you perform in the school. The students talk about you. One nice statement: a student's learning in a particular school is impacted the most by the teachers, of course, but immediately after the teachers, it's the principal. It's not the parents or the tuition teachers. You'll be surprised. It's the principal. It is second only to the teacher. And this is also mentioned in the document. So the point here is, if at all a school is getting an amazing result, the important role played by the teacher is absolutely there. But somewhere the principal also played a role. Somewhere it is not really recognized much. You have the teacher's poster, you give rewards to the teacher, but somebody should take an initiative and reward the principal as well. So yeah, becoming a value leader comes under that category. Yeah, I think you are must be a good politician. Okay. Yeah, nice session. Okay, that's okay. So experience as a school leader, collaboration with stakeholders and developing vision. Let's go forward. Practicing leadership. So setting direction, building relationship and developing people, developing the school, improving instructional program. You remember the first five categories. Yeah, always have that in your mind. Instructional leadership. You have got organizational leadership, then building partnerships, which is collaborative leadership, I guess. Team leadership is collaborative leadership, and finally developing self leadership. Yeah, I'm just looking at the document and reading it so that I don't miss out on anything. So this is emerging as a leader by action, where leader by position is experience and promotion and direct appointment, which is not a wrong thing, which is a good thing, no doubt in that. However, a leader is not defined by just the position, also by the action. In addition to the leaders by position, they take initiative, set goals for everyone, act to bring change, and influence through knowledge, skills, and attitude. So now let us get into. Okay, I will not show this right now. Let's get into NEPA. See, so you have to go to this particular website called as. Okay, I'm there in NEPA directly. Okay, here we go. I hope you're able to see this. Great. So this is National Institute of Education Planning and Administration, and under that you have got National Center for School Leadership. I'm just copying this link and pasting it on the chat for everybody's real. Okay, immediate verify. Okay, here it is. Between government run school and a privately managed school. Yeah, you're right, Dilip Kumar sir. Big time. Huge difference. Huge difference. In school, it's all about. You're right, Reena ma'am. Okay. Yeah. See, there are some people bringing out the politics that happen in the school, and I think if you focus on the politics, then somewhere you're missing out on you being a leader. So, I know, like, it's just a personal opinion over here. The moment there is an increase in the politics, I think automatically the nature will take you out of that school. So it's like either you're not willing to work over there, you're uncomfortable, so change the school immediately. But being in the school for years together and being part of the politics and still living there a life that you didn't really want to, you're somewhere harming yourself to a large extent and immediately harming the students as well. So yeah, we can't avoid that, and I can't really ignore that particular point as well. It's there, and it'll always be there. Yeah. Okay, so National Center for School Leadership, and here in this case, they talk about every school leadership program. They have the category of leadership program under three areas. One is a 10 days training program, which is generally offline, a 10-day training program organized regularly. The second is 1 month induction program. Now, 1 month induction program is generally done for a school that is newly adopted. Now, this is generally done only for the government schools, but if you can apply for any training which you can come to know from here. Even private schools have been participating in this, and I'm very sure many private school teachers and principals who are part of this session know about this. And the last category is 1 year program, postgraduate program, postgraduate diploma program in school leadership management, and this is for aspiring principals. So if anyone out there is a teacher and you would like to become the principal, you should go with the 1 year PGD, which is postgraduate diploma program in school leadership and management. So that is completely conducted by NEPA, and there are multiple professors who work on that. So here in this case, the moment you click on, let's click on repository. So there are three important documents that were made, and this is very important for all of us to go through. And that is again, wait a minute. Okay. Okay. I hope it gets loaded. One second. Okay, give me a minute. Let me show that to you on my system. Oh, my sharing went away. So basically, this work of starting to develop a content for school leadership program started in the year 2012, 2012. And since then, a lot of initiatives have been taken. So recently in 2022, there was a very good document uploaded, and I'm going to show that to you right on the screen in three. And they came up with taxonomy for school leadership development also. Let me, great. You're able to see the screen now? One, yes, you should be able to see the screen right away. And okay, so leadership brief 1, leadership brief 2, and just a 4455 page document with huge information. So this is leadership number 1. What goes into the making of change leader, a probe in the role of school principal. They talk about all the research they have done, and you would have seen from school principalship to leadership, from leadership to academic leadership, transformative to transformational leadership, broader leadership practices to contextualize leadership. And these 5 documents is more than enough for us to get into the world of leadership, at least that particular training program. Again, under 2, transforming schools in the Indian context. So right now, according to Indian scenario, you know that there are 40 children at least in a particular class. The classroom size is not that great. The infrastructure is trying to improvise gradually, and now the percentage, the budget percentage to schools got increased. I think it's now 6%. Ideally, it should have been way more, but that's okay. Leading schools through transparency, a measure for accountability. Now, what do you mean by transparency? You will love this. Out of all the 3 documents, my favorite is the transparency. It's so important for the schools to be super transparent. You can't really hide anything. See, the moment you hide the first information, that is the birth of the politics. That is the place where the politics actually begin. You can't hide. Be transparent. Make sure you communicate everything properly to the principal, and then let the principal communicate everything to you. How does it really work? They gave a very good scenario over here, the context and why transparency schools is more important. Now, this is not just with respect to transparency from principals to teachers, but also transparency from teachers to the parents on what the child is doing, what they're not doing. Having the note, if a teacher is seeing a child in a hospital or in a mall or in an area, and if she is in a place where she can approach the child, it is very important for the teachers to go and approach. It is important for the teachers to go and ask question. At least in K-12 segment, this is important. You can't ignore. There are teachers out there who have been coming up with suggestions that I'm there in a mall with my family, and there are students out there who have come to just enjoy. I don't want to disturb their privacy, so I did not meet them. No, no, that should not be the case, it seems. In K-12 segment, the student should be constantly observed without even them knowing that you're observing, something like that. For example, if the students are trying to avoid you, looking at you, there are chances that it will happen. Maybe at a certain distance, you can just say aloud, good morning or good evening or hi or something like that. That is enough. It's not that they're having their lunch with their friends. You go pull a chair and sit with them. No, it's not that much. That's too much inclusivity. But if you are having your lunch and if probably children are coming along and they're pulling the chairs and sitting with you, that cannot be discouraged. You can't tell them to, please leave, I'm there with my family. No, no, you're teachers, so you have to sacrifice this. So this is one important point I just learned from this transparency part. A nice document, and they also talk about where are the references, and it's really fantastic. So now coming back to this particular website, ma'am. So right after that, under the NCSL, you'll also find called as PSLM portal. Now that will take you us here. So program on school leadership and management. Now this particular PSLM course has got foundation and intermediate. Intermediate did not get launched yet. We were talking about this last year as well, but the foundation course is up there. So when you actually get into the course, you will have multiple topics, and it will be completed within 30 hours. All these fall under those 5 areas. So perspective on school leadership, developing self, transforming teaching learning process, building and leading teams, and leading innovations. Okay. Leading partnerships, leading school administration falls under one of those categories. You can see that the duration is also mentioned over here. Consolidation and drawing school development form and plan and feedback form. You just need to enter the UDICE code, and then you can start working on this. So I'll share this link as well on the chat so that you're able to immediately start the course if you're interested. And once you get the certificate for it, it's time for you to upgrade. Yeah, something like that. Bhuvaneshwari ma'am, I can't deny that, but yes. Teaching profession in India is still a matter of huge debate and discussion. And respecting teachers is very important, but respecting the leaders is also even more important. At least the teachers have a platform to speak about it, but leaders hardly have any platforms. It really gets lonely. When somebody said that you reach the top, it gets lonely. It really gets lonely. Let's conclude the session with the final video, teachers. A very inspiring video. In the current generation, if you want to find another leadership program, I think this person is the right person. I think you would have heard about Simon Sinek. He has written multiple books. One of the favorite books that I really like is Start With Why. And there's another book called as Leaders Eat the Last. Let's see what he has to speak about leadership. And then here we are. So I'm going to share the screen in 3, 2, and 1.
Do you love your wife?
Yes.
Prove it. Like, what's the metric? Give me the number that helps me know, right? Because when you met her, you didn't love her. Now you love her, right? Tell me the day the love happened. It's an impossible question. But it's not that it doesn't exist, it's that it's much easier to prove over time, right? Leadership is the same thing. It's about transition. So if you were to go to the gym, it's like exercise, right? If you go to the gym and you work out and you come back and you look in the mirror, you will see nothing. And if you go to the gym the next day and you come back and you look in the mirror, you will see nothing, right? So clearly there's no results, can't be measured, it must not be effective. So we quit, right? Or if you fundamentally believe that this is the right course of action and you stick with it, like in a relationship, I bought her flowers and I wished her happy birthday, and she doesn't love me. Clearly I'll give up. That's not what happens. If you believe there's something there, you commit yourself to an act of service. You commit yourself to the regime, the exercise. You can screw it up. You can eat chocolate cake one day, you can skip a day or two. It allows for that. But if you stick with it consistently, I'm not exactly sure what day, but I know you'll start getting into shape. I know it. And the same with the relationship. It's not about the events. It's not about intensity. It's about consistency, right? You go to the dentist twice a year, your teeth will fall out. You have to brush your teeth every day for 2 minutes. What does brushing your teeth twice a day for 2 minutes do? Nothing. Unless you do it every day, twice a day for 2 minutes. right? It's the consistency. Going to the gym for 9 hours does not get you into shape. Working out every day for 20 minutes gets you into shape. So the problem is we treat leadership with intensity. We have a 2-day offsite, we invite a bunch of speakers, we give everybody a certificate, you're a leader, right? Those things are like going to the dentist. They're very important, they're good for reminding us or getting us back on track, learning new lessons, but it's the daily practice of all the monotonous, little, boring things like brushing your teeth that matter the most. She didn't fall in love with you because you remembered her birthday and bought her flowers on Valentine's Day. She fell in love with you because when you woke up in the morning, you said good morning to her before you checked your phone. She fell in love with you because when you went to the fridge to get yourself a drink, you got her one without even asking. She fell in love with you because when you had an amazing day at work and she came home and she had a terrible day at work, you didn't say, yeah, but let me tell you about my day. You sat and listened to her awful day and you didn't say a thing about your amazing day. This is why she fell in love with you. I can't tell you exactly what day, and it was no particular thing you did. It was the accumulation of all of those little things that she woke up one day and as if she pressed a button, she goes, I love him, right? Leadership is exactly the same. There's no event. There's no thing I can tell you you have to do that your people will trust you. It just doesn't work that way. It's an accumulation of lots and lots of little things that anyone by themselves is innocuous and useless. Literally, pointless by themselves. People will look at little things that are good leadership practices and say, that won't work. And you're absolutely right. But if you do it consistently, and you do it in combination with lots of other little things, like saying good morning to someone, that looking them in the eye. My friend George, who's a 3-star general in the Marine Corps, he says his test for leadership, and I love this, he goes, his test for a good leader is if you ask somebody how their day is going, you actually care about the answer. The number of times we're walking to a meeting, we're rushing, we go, how are you? Not good, I got to get to you later, I'm late for a meeting. Right. If you ask the question, you are standing there and you're listening to the answer. It's those little innocuous things that you do over and over and over and over that people will say, I love my job. Not I like my job. I like my job means, yeah, the challenge is great, they pay me well, I like the people. I love my job means, I don't want to work anywhere else. I don't care how much somebody else is willing to pay me. I'm devoted to the people here, and I care desperately about the people here as if they were my family. In business, we have colleagues and coworkers. In the military, they have brothers and sisters. That's how they think of each other. If you really have a strong corporate culture, the people will think of each other like brothers and sisters. It's like a family, right? No, brothers and sisters. Deep love. Fight, but the love doesn't go away. Bicker, the love doesn't go away. And I'll fight with my sister, but if you threaten my sister, you're gonna have to deal with me, right? We'll fight internally, we'll bicker with each other, but nobody's gonna hurt each other, and if anything from the outside shows up, you're looking at a unified front. Brothers and sisters. Now, how do you create brothers and sisters out of strangers? Common beliefs, common values, parents, in other words, executives who care about their children's success, who care to raise their children, teach them skills, discipline them when necessary, help them build their self-confidence so that they can go on and achieve something more than you could have ever imagined achieving for yourself. That's leadership.
So that's leadership, teachers, and I think Simon Sinek, as he truly said about consistency. It's not about what you do today or what you did yesterday. It's about what you've been doing for a long time. Small, innocuous things. That's so powerful. And consistency is not easy. It's very difficult. So when they say leadership is not by position, it's by action. That action did not happen just day before yesterday or today or tomorrow. It's going to be. So that's why probably somebody nicely said that leadership is not a position. It's actually a character. Thank you so much, teachers. Great interacting with one and all on another interesting topic called a school leadership. Hope you got the links from where you can actually get the certification and the course from where you can do it. For the teachers who are asking where you can do the 1-year program, you need to go to the NEPA website and check on the courses. If you're getting it, that's great. If you're not, please reach out to me. You can even write a mail to NCERT and NEPA directly. They have given the contact details also. So I would like to see you on another Super Sunday workshop next Sunday, and that's going to be on SUFL, because SUFL is going to happen in the month of July, right? So let's talk about SUFL a little bit. Let's see how suffer we are with that. Yeah, a great visionary leader. That's great. Teachers, if you really have your principal and if you're proud about them, it's my request to put their name on the chat. The minimum thing that you can do is just, I love my principal. She is, karke, you can just put the name. Or else you can put it over here, or else you can put in the reflection form. Just a sense of respect. That's it, nothing else. Thank you so much. Great interacting with one and all. I'll see you in the next Super Sunday workshop. Until then, Jai Hind. That's great. Okay. I That's great. Oh, lovely, ma'am. I know her. That's fantastic. Superb, superb, superb. Oh, Vinita Suresh, ma'am. That's great. Multiple people are mentioning her name. Lovely. Good to know that. Bhuvaneshwari, ma'am. Matsala Devi, ma'am. That's fantastic. Oh, Rabia, ma'am. That's a very powerful word. Fantastic. Dr. Aditya Kumar, sir. You've got multiple names. Okay. Okay. Preeti, ma'am. That's lovely. Lovely. Arpita, ma'am. Fantastic. Miss Beena Prashant, ma'am. A great shout out to you. Many teachers naming you over here, IRA International School. Oh, Vanita, ma'am, I know that. NPS Kingeri, very sweet. Oh, Ratnama, ma'am, that's Chain Public School, right? Vinita Suresh, ma'am, from Bhavans, right? Great. That's lovely. Just a small token of recognition. That's it. They're lonely, right? They're not. Mumtaz, ma'am, and Farzana, ma'am. Lovely. Oh, that's a very good word. Great mentor he is, Mr. Abhishek Majumdar. Lovely, sir. Lovely, sir. Oh, Sangeeta Patel, ma'am. Lovely. Army Public School, right? Ahmedabad. Prableen Kaur, ma'am. That's great. Bakshi, ma'am. That's great. Rupashri, ma'am. Lovely. Oh, Mrs. Seal. Okay. Babita, ma'am. That's lovely. Kavita Rai, ma'am. Okay. Miss Bunny. She's got high emotional quotient. Very good, Jyoti, ma'am. Oh, yes, absolutely. Pinky Singh, ma'am. Yeah, very vibrant personality from Royal Concord. Lovely, Deepa, ma'am. Mumtaz Jahan. Oh, Rabia, ma'am. Finally, you tell the name. Okay, I was waiting for the name actually. Shilpa Chauhan, ma'am. Okay. School of Scholars. Higanghat. Okay. That's lovely. Okay. Margaret, ma'am. I hope you read the message. Great. Vinita Suresh, ma'am's name has come multiple times. Geeta, ma'am. Very good. Oh, of course. Nutan, ma'am. Yeah. I'm blessed to meet her multiple times. Oh, Arpita, ma'am. I'm just eagerly waiting to meet you once. I'm just waiting for the appointment and I'll come to Sadhu Ashwani School very soon. Vijay Sudhakar. That's great, Miss Vijay Sudhakar. Geeta Dikshit, ma'am. Sita Murthy, ma'am. Supriti Chauhan, ma'am. Delhi Public School. Sister Maria. Oh, okay. Vasuki, ma'am, right? It's Joseph of Clooney, right? Vasuki, ma'am. Geeta Dikshit, ma'am. NPS Kangeri, right? Yes. Okay. Rupashri, ma'am. Oh, Lima Swami, ma'am. RCIS, right? Zuleika, ma'am. Okay, that's great. Ashif, sir. Sitaram. I think, oh, Sita ma'am is from Whitefield Global School. Anjana ma'am, am I right? Very vibrant. Yeah, great aura. Aditya Kumar sir. Devi ma'am, that's very nice way of putting it. My principal is gorgeous. Jayagopal Garudia, Avadi. Yeah, I know that. Very good. Prableen Kaur, she's an amazing lady. AD Gomes, man. Basudev sir, Mr. AD Gomes, I know. Amazing personality. Yeah, Sarabjit ma'am is, without that, how can the chat be complete? Sangeeta, of course. Shilpi ma'am, good. Very consistent personality, Sangeeta ma'am. And Rama Bharati ma'am, St. John's, Vijayawada. Lovely. Dr. Sarabjit Kaur. It's my duty to just, the least that I can do is just speak out the names so that it gets etched permanently on the YouTube at least, you know. And Mumtaz madam and Farzana madam from Azra Public School. I know. Faizan sir, I know. I'm happy to have met her. Dr. Richa Prakash, Delhi Public School, Jaipur. Your teacher love you. Bhavani ma'am is a futuristic lady. I really like that. Okay, we're happy to have a leader like her. Yeah, leadership quality is something that you can imbibe anytime in whatever position of life we are in. Oh, Adam S. World School. Okay, that's great. You respect your principal, Malabika ma'am. That's fantastic. Reliance Foundation School, Surat. Oh, very good. He appreciates the teacher's contribution in any form. Lovely, lovely. What's his name? You can put it on the chat, ma'am. Rosaline, ma'am. You've been mentioning about him multiple times. I think I missed, right? Brother Suvitya Prana Swamini, a great facilitator, a whole inspiration to all of us. Veena, ma'am. That's lovely. Bharti Sharma, ma'am. That's great. Taran Arora. She's a great mentor. Okay. Mata Gujri Senior Secondary School, Devigat. Tanupreet Kaur. Great. Vinita Suresh, ma'am. Oh my God. So many people. Earlier, my colleague friend, and now, oh wow, Shanti, ma'am. That's so nice of you to say that. You're proud about that. Very good. That shows in your chat. Geeta Dikshit, ma'am, from NPS King areas, of course. I happened to have a word with Geeta ma'am once. Was fortunate for that. I should thank the pre-primary coordinator, if I'm not wrong. I don't remember primary coordinator, ma'am. I'm forgetting the name, but thank you for that interaction. I just wish I come and meet ma'am once in the school. Vijay Sudhakar. That's great. That's great. Geeta Dikshit, ma'am. Dr. Rashi Shah. Okay. Padmalata, ma'am of JSPS. Shilpa Chauhan, ma'am. Okay. School of Scholars. I saw one more name there. Correct. Can't deny that, Dilip Kumar, sir. You're right. Okay. The whole NPS Kingeri army is present over here, if I'm not wrong. Rupashri, ma'am. Oh, lovely. Lovely. Thank you, Nisha, ma'am. Thank you so much. Oh, that's lovely. Okay. Yes. Azra, ma'am, and Farzana, ma'am. Oh, sorry. Azra School. Mumtaz, ma'am, and Farzana, ma'am. Nice of you to, mention that over here. Great. Bhavani Meridian Madhapur. Yeah, Karnam Bhavani. Yes, Anita ma'am. There's a spelling mistake over there, but that's fine. Yeah, Geeta ma'am. Oh, coordinator is also Geeta ma'am. Okay. Tamanna ma'am, thank you so much for joining. That's nice of you to mention their name. Miss Saina, principal, and Miss Aradhana, vice principal from Vibgyor High. Lovely, lovely, lovely. That's great. I think most of the names are repeating now. And oh, you're from Indore. That's great. Ratna ma'am, I read that. Yeah. Mr. S. Anthony Raj, Reliance Foundation School. Okay, Anthony Raj. I hope I get to meet him. Sure, ma'am. Sure, Rosaline, ma'am. That's nice of you. Great. Okay, Nageshwari, ma'am, from CMR High School. That's great. Of course, Sangeeta Patel, ma'am, from IPS Ahmedabad. Oh, this is so nice too. This is so wholesome, actually. Anagha, okay, from Prodar International School, Ambegaon. Okay, that's nice. Great. Nadraj Vasudev. Okay, that's me. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Kartika ma'am. I think with that, I should close the session today. Thank you so much, teachers. Great interacting with one and all. I'll meet you again on next Super Sunday workshop on Shuffle. Thank you very much and bye, everyone.